Good morning and welcome to the ASDRP Researcher Interview Series. Today I'll be talking with Aparnaa Ananthakrishnan. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. To start us off, will you tell me a little bit about yourself? So what high school you go to, your hobbies, and things like that.
Yeah, so once again, my name is Aparnaa Ananthakrishnan. I'm from Aurora, Illinois. So I'm actually not a California student. I go to Matea Valley High School in Aurora, Illinois. In terms of hobbies, I love to read books, specifically any sort of books like set in the 1800s in Europe. I love those type of books, as well as more reflective novels or things I also like to read. I also love to spend a lot of time with my friends. I also do play the violin.
Wow, that's awesome. Super cool that you're one of the remote researchers, right?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yes.
Awesome. That's super cool. And then I love the historical fiction moment, and I play the cello, so nice
Awesome.
to have a musician. That's so cool.
Yeah.
How did you find out about ASDRP being all the way from Illinois?
Yeah, so actually, my aunt's friend son actually was part of ASDRP for one of the summer sessions in 2021, and I was able to hear about it from her. So after I heard about the opportunity, I joined in. I submitted my application over the summer and was accepted for the fall 2021 cohort. And ever since then, I've been a part of ASDRP.
Awesome. So you've been here for a full year.
Yes, yes, I have.
That's very cool. Have you been working with the same advisor and project for the
Yes.
whole time?
Yes. I've actually been working with Mr. Kunha, Mr. Clinton Kunha's lab for the past year.
Awesome. What project have you been working on?
So our research project focuses on, computational analysis, specifically characterization of specific inhibitors for DNA methyltransferase and histone deacyltases to try and find potential drugs that can inhibit colon cancer progression.
Wow, that's really awesome. Will you describe a bit how the project has developed over the year and what it means to be working with trying to find those drugs?
Yeah, so for me, I was actually never really familiar with code before I actually joined ASDRP. So as a researcher, I did have to spend a lot of time going through like learning Python, learning Java to be able to actually conduct the research and understand how I can do something novel with certain coding programs. So learning, like the learning curve for Python was definitely difficult at first, but then over time, I became a lot more comfortable with it and I began actually conducting my research. And we use a variety of computational tools. I first started off using Moltrans, which is a neural network that's able to, I guess, like produce binding affinity values between, a drug and then a protein in our case, which was any drug with DNMT1, which is DNA methyltransferase 1. And we had a bit of struggles with Moltrans, so we moved on to using a different tool. So I now work with DeepCDR. It's another tool, but it produces values called IC50 values that just signify the toxicity when a drug binds to its receptor, which in this case is DNMT1.
Okay, very cool. So you're blending in computers with the biochemistry.
Yes.
That's really amazing. So where are you getting the information about the drugs to run it in your computational analysis?
Yeah, so we actually download all of like the drug files from Chembl and PubChem, depending on which which technology we're using. And also we have within our lab group, the computational lab group, we're split into different like sections. So one group works with Autodoc Vena. I work with DeepCDR along with my lab partner, and another group works with the liver tool. So after the Autodoc Vena group, they did clustering. So they were able to identify any drugs that were similar to kind of like a baseline drug, and then they gave us those drug names, and then we were able to move forward from there.
Wow, that's so fascinating. I didn't realize there was such a computational side to defining these treatments. What made you interested in joining this group?
Yeah, so actually, when I first was searching through ASDRP, I actually was not able to find as many because like since I'm actually so I'm from Illinois. I'm not in person. So like in-person lab opportunities aren't really an option for me. And as someone who is very interested in finding potential cures for cancer and investigating oncology and the field of like immunotherapy with oncology, being able to engage in cancer research, from my home was something I was really interested in. And that's Mr. Kuhn has researched to T. So it worked out really well for me that he was mentor ASDRP.
Definitely. What a cool opportunity, and I love the way you put that. Like you're finding these cures and making these strides from home, while also working so hard to do that. That's really amazing. For my final question today, I would love to know what advice you would give to a future researcher looking to join ASDRP.
Yeah, so my advice would be nothing comes easily at first. And I did come into this thinking, okay, if I run the code, it's just going to work. There's not going to be any major problems with it because it is code. But then like through trial and error, you realize that there are several problems that you have to make your way through, and challenges are always going to be there in research. And it's not going to always come easy because you are, in a sense, investigating the unknown. So you are doing something that is very, very novel, and there aren't already set answers for that. So you have to realize that it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of hard work to make strides in your research to the point that you can, present your research or in the future potentially publish it. So that's definitely any advice I would say would be, it's okay, just realize it takes time and it is okay to fail at first because you're working really hard at it. And one, like you will see sometimes like your efforts will come, you see your efforts actually come true in terms of like results in your research.
Absolutely. That is such great advice. I love the way that you put investigating the unknown. Definitely what it's all about. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an awesome interview, learning so many new things, and good luck with the rest of your research in the school year.
Thank you.